Hello everyone and welcome back to Scum. In our last video, we kind of covered the new update on base building with the painting and everything and the few new pieces that we got. And ever since I put that video out, I've been getting a lot of questions about the house here behind me and how I built it and how it all works and goes together. It's no surprise that the building system in Scum is complicated and can be kind of confusing, particularly around walls, where the relationship between walls and roofs. It can get kind of crazy. Stuff doesn't want to snap together the way you want it. It can be a pain in the butt. So I thought it'd be nice to just kind of make a quick little tutorial video using the house behind me as an example. So what we're going to do is we're going to start from scratch, foundation up to roof, and rebuild this house behind me so you can kind of see how it all works. I'm by no means a Scum building expert. I've built quite a few houses in Scum, but there's obviously a lot more that I can learn, and I'll just kind of show you how I go about it and the steps that I take, and maybe try to explain how the roof pieces work in relationship with the walls. It can get kind of crazy. It can be kind of unintuitive. Though it is improving, they're changing it all the time. It's something that you just got to kind of play with to figure out sometimes. But hopefully, maybe I can save you some frustration, show you how to do this build. So yeah, that's what this is. I guess it's a base building tutorial, sort of. Only I'm just going to show you how to build this house. But yeah, that's enough of that. Let's get to it. All right, so before I get started, just a little context. This is technically a two-story house. There is, in fact, I'll just show you. There is a third story per se, but it's more of a loft or attic space. I've put this ladder in here so you can kind of see. Yeah, it's not really a three-story. It kind of is. You can certainly use it. But that was my thinking with that. It's an attic space. But yeah, so the first thing you want to do whenever you're going to build anything is find a good flat piece of ground. Now, it doesn't have to be perfectly flat, but you don't want too much of a slope, because as you build back, obviously the ground's going to get higher and your foundation can only be one level. So if you start on a low end and you work towards the hill, obviously your foundation's going to get shorter as you go back. And what can end up happening is, if you're picky like me and your foundation gets too low to the grass, you'll have this grass and stuff poking through, and that's just annoying. You want to consider your length and width of your patch of ground. Make sure you got a nice big open area to build. Obviously, if you're building something small, not so much, but the footprint of this house is fairly big, so we want to make sure we got plenty of room to work with. All right, now that we have found a patch of ground that's suitable to build on, a nice long sort of flat area, the next thing that we want to do is start laying out the footprint of the house. So we're going to start with the garage. The garage is very simple. It's only a 2x4. It's basically a hallway, a large hallway, more or less. But you want to come into crafting, go to base building, choose your foundation. Okay, now you want to put this up high enough that it's not going to clip into any grass or anything, like we said earlier. And you can go pretty low with these, but not too low. And this is subjective, right? Like, I'm kind of picky about my builds, so I like to make sure that I'm not going to have any grass clipping in. Depending on, how much you care, it might not matter. But I think we're going to put it about there. You don't want it too high, because then it kind of gets sort of weird looking. But yeah, so that's our first foundation. We're going to go ahead and lay another one here, and then 3 more going back that way. All right, there's the foundation. Now you can press Alt-C, and that will automatically place the last building element that you had. So it's kind of nice. You can just kind of rapid fire these off, which is very helpful. But yeah, there's the foundation. Obviously, I'm using God mode to build this, you guys. If this was your build, you would obviously need to gather the stuff that you need. But just for sake of time, I'm using God mode, so I can automatically fill my elements and just kind of move on and show you everything. But yeah, so there's the foundation for the garage. Very simple. Little 2x4, nothing crazy. But now the next thing we want to do, come back into our elements, grab these stairs. Now, you don't have to do this exactly how I'm doing it. You can put the stairs on this side, but the way I like to do it is I like to have a double door for vehicles to go in and out, and then stairs with a single door to, if, you know, I just want to walk in. You know, it's kind of an immersion realism thing for me. I'm kind of a geek like that. But anyway, yeah. So we get our single twig door frame. That's going to go here. And then our garage double door. This, yes, it's right here. Double door. That's going to go here. And we'll fill those in. And voila, we're well on our way. So now I'm just going to fill in the rest of this with regular walls. You can add windows if you want, but it's just a garage. You're not going to spend a lot of time in here. The one thing we are going to watch out for is right here, this wall. We'll have to leave this. We'll come back to it later. We don't want to fill that in because this is going to actually be a connector into the house itself. So it's very important. Don't put a wall there. All right, there we have it. All the garage walls are up. Now, before we finish building the roof and everything, what I want to do now is start laying the house foundations and the connector to the house. We want to get the bottom floor built more or less before we try to connect the garage to the house. It just kind of works better that way, and you'll see why soon. So we're going to do that. I'll put the connector up, and then we'll start laying out the floor plan for the actual house. All right, now, once you've got the connector placed down, you want to place another one right here, and then another one here. And this is going to start making the footprint of your house. Now, this house is 3 by 4. So you want to come out 3 here, and then go back 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just like that. Now, unfortunately, we didn't follow our rule of being careful about the gradient, so we're going to have a little bit of grass clipping through, but that's fine. It's just a demonstration. We probably could have gone further forward a little bit here, but that's no big deal. All right, so now that we have the footprint of our house started, it's time to start building the porch, the entryway, which is one of my favorite things about the new update. So what we want to do, get a set of stairs, whack them on there, and that'll be the nice central entrance to our house. Then you want to come up here and get these low walls with the supports. These are what's going to form not only our porch, but they will also provide support to the second story. On the front end, you can see there. It's actually a second story there, and the porch holds it up. So pretty cool. I really like these new low walls with the supports in them. It's really powerful. It allows a lot of new stuff. So there is our porch. All right, now once you've got your porch built, it's time to start framing out the entryway to your house. Now, this is completely up to you. I like to use the double door. These can be tricky sometimes. In fact, I'll just double check. So there, actually that one's good. Sometimes they get laid down like backwards and you don't get the correct wood facing out. In this case, it worked out good, so that laid out fine. But yeah, we want to put our entryway there, and then we want to come over here. I like to put 2 windows here and here. Okay, just like that. Go ahead, get your double door with windows, whack it on there. Bam. We now have the entryway to our house. Very nice. I like this. It's very realistic, very believable. It's almost like a house you could pass on the street. All right, once you've got your lovely little entrance all built, you can start moving on to the other walls on this first level. I just use regular walls for this. You could put windows here if you really want to, but just for the sake of time and simplicity, we've got just regular walls. Now, fill in a couple of these. For this one, you want to use a door frame. You don't have to, but if you want to mimic my build, this is what I did. So put your door frame in there, grab a door, put that on there, get that all built up. And that is the start of the addition into the garage. Over here, we got a couple windows to put in. Again, this is all to taste. This part doesn't matter for anything. Very simple, and voila. One more wall. Voila. There you go. That is the ground floor of our house, all complete. Now, we're going to move on to the garage. The first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to put a couple of roofs on here. Roofs, as I've said, and many people have noticed, are quite finicky. They can do really weird stuff. They like even pitches. That is to say, this is 2, it's even. They come to a point at one level. Once you start going into, like, say 3 across, and they don't meet in the middle, you got to go up another level to make the pitches meet. If I'm explaining that correctly, it gets kind of tricky, and you end up having to add supports. That's what happened with this house, but I'll walk you through how to get around that. For now, the garage is very simple until we get to the addition here. That's when it does get a little bit finicky, and I will show you what I mean. Now, we've already got a door on the house side, so we really don't need one here. Now, you can do a frame like that, or you can just put a support here. I'm going to put a door frame in just because it looks a little more trimmed out, looks a little better. And then here, of course, we just do plain walls. That seals that in. Now, let's put a couple more roofs on here, like so. Just fill those in real quick. Okay, we'll put this side on as well. So this is where it gets kind of weird, right? So I'm kind of a perfectionist, right? What I would want to do here is take this guy, put it there, take this guy, put it there, fill it in. But then that happens. It creates this really weird roof. I have not figured out how to get rid of this triangle. Nothing I do seems to fix it. You can do one of these, right? That kind of fixes the problem, but then you've still got this gap. And then you can't. But you know what? Hold on. Guys, we're learning stuff today. Let me try something. Just for the lulz. Can I put a support here and make a wall there? No, you can't. See, I was hoping I was gonna do something cool here and fill that in, but it would seem that you can't. Maybe I can mess with this and get this to fill in, but it's a pain in the butt. I can't seem to get it to work. I'm now being harassed. But yeah, so what I do is I'll cut all this back down, and we'll just end up putting in a twig floor just to get that covered up and taken care of so that we don't have any gaps showing. All right, you guys, I have tested this extensively. I've done a lot of testing with this, and the thing that I'm concluding is that 2 things. The game counts roofs as walls, so if you put a roof here, you can't then put a wall here. So you may be able to put the 2 peaks here, or, well, I guess it'd technically be 1 peak, the 2 roofs here, and then cover it with a wall, but that wall sits on top of this opening, so then you're not able to place a wall afterwards, and vice versa. So you can only have one thing mating here at a time. So your best bet is to just go ahead and put a roof there, and then come here and put a stick floor. It's not as attractive. It doesn't transition the buildings as, you know, as pleasing visually as I would like. But it is a workaround. It does look good. It doesn't look terrible. So there is that. If you're really picky about it, I guess you could throw a roof up there, but I don't know. My OCD, knowing that there's that gap up there, I can't do it. It's got to bleed into the into this roof. Now, these walls here, I see a lot of people making this mistake. What you want to do is you want to build the roof first. If you build the roof first, these walls will automatically go to the correct shape. Sometimes they bug out and do weird stuff, but 90% of the time, these walls are gonna go just how you'd expect them to. Kind of triangular shaped, and then they'll cut off by themselves, and then there you go. Add a couple of doors. Again, this exact configuration is up to you. You can have them on the other side. You can have 2 double doors. You can have 2 single doors. It's really up to you. But there you go. There's your garage. That is complete. Now you can paint this and upgrade it to your heart's content. But that's it. That's the garage built. Very simple garage. Not hard to do. The hardest part is this transition, and we got that all figured out. But yes, now we are on to the second floor. All right, whenever I build a building with more than 1 floor, one of the first things that I like to do is figure out where my stairs are going to be, because it's very important that they're out of the way, but they're not in like a jank area or a crowded area. Now, with this particular build, I found the best place to put the stairs are right here. And the best set of stairs for this particular build is right here, the U shape. So you put that there, mouse wheel, turn them till they're facing towards the front of the building, and then lay them down. Now, you don't have to do anything else with these right now. The next thing that we want to do is get our supports. Supports are very important, especially if you've got a building with more than 2 levels. When you get up to the roof, you're going to find that you're having a lot of trouble getting the roof pieces to connect, because the roof needs 2 sets of roofs, basically. If you look at the garage here, that's 1 set of roofs. This building here is actually 2 sets of roofs. And the reason for that is because the building is 3 wide, it's uneven, so it has to span an extra set of blocks, or an extra floor space, to get that peak in the middle. And it needs support to do that. And that'll make a lot more sense as we build this and you see what I'm talking about. I'm not an engineer. I'm terrible at explaining this stuff, but yeah, you want to start with your supports. Make sure you get a ton of support in the ground floor. I haven't experimented with the long L supports yet to see if that kind of helps declutter. I'll have to experiment with a build with those. But yeah, you can see here I'm making plenty of supports. And the reason for this is twofold. Obviously, 1 is the roof issue, and 2, if you ever want to build partitions in your rooms upstairs, you're going to need these for your walls to rest on. You cannot place walls on the 2nd or 3rd floor without these supports. It won't do it. The wall has to have these supports underneath it on the floor, or it will not go in. So save yourself a lot of trouble and just put these in first thing, or you're going to be dealing with it later. It takes more resources. It kind of clutters things up a little bit, but it's really not too bad. It's really not too bad, and you'll thank yourself later. Trust me. Right. Once you've got all your supports laid out in a nice grid, because you may as well, honestly, the ground floor, you may as well just grid it right out. Have all the supports you could possibly need. You're ready to start laying down your floors. So go ahead, place your floors. You fill this whole square in right here, obviously, except for that. And then we'll move on to the porch area. All right, there we got the 2nd floor sort of living space all filled in. And now we're going to build the 2nd part of the porch. So just like any other floor, you want to fill this in. Make sure you do this. It's critical. It's not critical. It's just, it won't be the same house if you don't do it. Voila, our nice covered closed-in porch. And that's why I love these new pieces, because now you can build a second story on top of your nice open sitting area. Before I get too far ahead, guys, come downstairs, back out to your porch, and just make sure that you add these supports here too, because this is also part of the second story. So you want to make sure you've got these two supports here. All right, now that the ground floor of our house is completed and it's all sealed in, we're ready to start building the second floor. Now, the second floor, with the exception of the supports, is more or less going to mirror the ground floor. So we can start sealing this in, setting up our walls and windows. And again, it's going to more or less mirror the ground floor, except that we've gained a little bit of space. Oh, see that? You see that? That won't snap. I've missed a support. You got to come here, put another support here. Sorry about that, guys. My bad. But you see what I mean? That's a good demonstration. And anything you build above the ground floor has got to be supported down below, or it will not work. A lot of people are probably running into trouble with that very thing. So we'll go ahead, take our twig wall, put it there. Now what we've just done here on the ground floor, we're going to do the exact same thing up here, only one square longer. Again, every now and then just check these, make sure that they're facing the right direction. The logs, when you go to upgrade this, the logs will be facing out. So just always double check that. Sometimes it doesn't do it correctly. But anyway, now that that's all boxed in, it's time to start thinking about our supports. Now, the supports on this floor are going to be a little bit different than the first floor. We're not going to need quite as many of them. So what we want to do is come in here, put one here in the middle, and here. And then we want to go across as well. These are important because these are technically what's going to hold up our roof. So these are not negotiable. You've got to have them. These are absolutely, can't get around it. These ones you got to have. Oop, don't do that. These ones here can be a little bit finicky to place. You just got to kind of mess with it. Mess with it till it works. I figured out what the problem is. For one, my UI has glitched. You can see there in the top left corner. It's a new patch. It's going to be bugs. It's no big deal. We'll figure it out. I think it was telling me I had too many blueprints, but I couldn't see. But yeah, this one's a little finicky, but it will work. It will go in. You got to have these supports in the middle, front to back. Like I said, they will be supporting our attic space and our roof. So these ones, non-negotiable, gotta have them. All right, now that we've got all this sort of spinal support put in, you can go ahead and start laying down some of the roof. Just go ahead and do all of this. You don't really need to worry about leaving any gaps or anything right now. Just put them in and then fill them all in. All right, now, once you've put your last wall piece on, you can kind of step back and kind of see what we got going on here. Now, you might think, if you put two more roofs there, aren't they going to kind of cross each other and look all weird and like Asian or something? And, yes and no. We'll get to that. I'll show you what happens when you do that. But right, so you've got all that done. Now what you want to do is come over here and grab this twig hatch floor. And you want to put that right here. Okay? Then you want to come here, get yourself a ladder. You can put this at either end. It doesn't have to be, well, actually, no, it does have to be here, excuse me. If you put it here, and you have this pitch of the roof, it'll actually kind of stop you from getting off the ladder. At least in my testing. But there, this allows you to get up here to your attic space. And now what you want to do is continue with your support framing. So you want to put support frames here all the way across, just like we did on the ground floor or on the second floor. But here we don't have to, I don't believe we have to put the cross members in. If we do, I'll correct it when we get there. But yeah, this is going to support our, whoops, don't fall down your own stairs. This is going to support our next section of roof. This is very important. It won't work if you don't do this. All right, let's just lay some floors down here. Double check that we've got all our supports. All right, very good. Now, let's go to our walls. We want to put a wall here and a wall here. Now, these can be window walls if you like I've done over there. It doesn't really matter. You don't have to put windows there. I like to put windows here, at least on the entrance. Just kind of makes it look nice, in my opinion. All right, there. Now, if I've done this correctly, we should be able to put on our roof peak. This one's not working. I think I remember this being an issue. I think I need to put that cross brace on. Oh, no, I didn't. I just didn't have a support there because I'm very smart. I think we can actually get rid of this one. All right, let's fill that support in. That's why it's very important. Double check your supports. There we go. All right, now, as we start to fill these in, it's a bit tricky. You'll see if you come outside. Oh. That has actually formed the peak itself. See, before it looks like that. Right? They're crossed like that. Looks like something from China or something. You know, one of those houses? Which is nothing wrong with. Those are lovely houses. But yeah, when you fill it in, it is kind of smart. It knows. It knows to join the peaks. So it's very nice. Now, if this ever happens, and the roof is facing the opposite direction and you're like moving your mouse all around trying to get it to work and it doesn't, just scroll wheel. Scroll wheel once, it'll go the direction you want. All is not lost. Just have patience, my children. Sometimes you gotta do a little hop to fill these in. All right, now, there it is. There's your roof. But you've got these Triforce symbols here, and it's like Princess Zelda's about to show up and save the day. All we do is just like at the garage, fill these in with walls. Just like that. And the game will automatically fill in the gaps for you. And then we just fill in the floor. It's pretty sweet. It's a really nice building system. I quite like it. I'm very happy with it. Once you kind of figure out its tweaks and its twerks and its quirks and all its weird shit, it's not bad. It's a pretty decent system. It works pretty well. All right, now we just fill the floor in. Fill the floor in. Please, thank you. And bam. I don't know why I put an extra floor there. Just maybe that's where you keep your snacks. I don't know. Yeah, there we go. That's pretty much it. More or less, job done. Now, like I was saying earlier with all these extra beams, that's because if you've bought yourself extra floor space here on this level by doing the covered porch with the supports. So you might want to partition this off into like a bedroom or something like that. And if you didn't have the supports, yet missed one. I missed one. Wasn't paying attention. Or did I miss one? I didn't miss one. It's just being finicky. If you didn't have the supports here, you wouldn't be able to make a room here. I don't know why that middle is not going in. It really should be. But yeah, if you want to partition this off and make this into a room, that's gonna bug the crap out of me. No, I definitely put a cross member here. I'm not sure why that's not going. Oh, it's because I have a support here. Yeah, you'll have to kind of plan it out, right? You can't have a wall here with a support here. So yeah, you'll have to plan it out a little better than I did. But yeah, you could put a door here instead of a support if you already know ahead of time that you want to split this into more than one room. But yeah, it's a really good system, honestly. Maybe if somebody was a little better at building than I am, I'm okay, I get by. But yeah, that's basically it, you guys. That's the house. As you can see, it's the same exact house. I just didn't fix it up and make it nice. But yeah, you know, you go on over here, go find yourself some paint, paint your porch up, paint your living room, dining area, and yeah, here, a demonstration. Put yourself a nice little partition wall in here if you want, and all's good. Hunky-dory, as the boat salesman says. But anyway, you guys, I hope this was helpful. I hope I solved some glaring issues for you. Maybe you learned something today, and maybe not. Maybe it was a complete waste of time. I don't know. But I enjoyed making this video anyway. I love building in Scum. It's really good. It's fun. It's one of the most entertaining things to do in the whole game, really. I can't wait to keep experimenting with the system and expanding on it and seeing what kind of builds I can come up with. This is just a nice, simple, kind of like a realistic house, you know, like I would totally live here. It's very quaint. It's nice with the garage and everything. It's just a nice build. When people see it, they're definitely going to be impressed. And that's 90% of it, right? Curb appeal. Like, does your house look good? If your house looks good, your base, you'll be happy with it. And I think this build kind of hits all those buttons. But anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, as always, if you're new here, please consider giving us a sub. Maybe drop a like on the video. It'd really help us keep growing. We are at 990 subscribers. Our last video got us well over 30 subscribers, well over 40 subscribers. It was really good. It was like 40 subscribers. It was a lot. I couldn't believe it. You guys came out in droves to support the channel, and I really appreciate it. I think we're definitely going to hit our 1,000 subscriber goal that I want to get by the end of the summer. So thank you very much for that, you guys. You guys are amazing. Support has been incredible. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.